To Jamal. Let's welcome Sunny Slaughter, founder and managing partner of Sunny Slaughter Consulting, a firm that deals with government and political entities. She's also an instructor with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Executive Leadership Seminar Program. Thank you so much for joining us on The Why. And I actually wanted to start with a moment from last year where the national president of the American Federation of Government Employees Council of Prison Locals, long term here, but she told the Senate Judiciary Committee that staffing was reduced by nearly 10,000 employees between 2016 and 2022. How much of these recent breaches are a result of understaffing?
I think many of them are. The amount of individuals that we need to cover professionals, law enforcement experts, and those who can keep a focused eye on inmates while they're incarcerated is very low, and the turnover is substantially high nowadays. So we really need to get control of this. And so we can secure our prisons much more effectively. This is why these escapes are going unnoticed for so long, Lauren.
What's the deal with the turnover?
The turnover is, retirement. The problem with law enforcement is retirement, retention, and then finding qualified individuals. So with the number of people who are retirement, COVID has come into place. People are not operating effectively. They are, many people have passed away. COVID impacted law enforcement across the board in a very substantive way. But retirement, retention, and hiring qualified individuals has become a real crisis for law enforcement everywhere, and particularly in our prisons.
Yeah, I mean, as you paint that picture of what's going on, we also had learned that, committee cooks, teachers, nurses, they're filling in as correctional officers saying, that the augmentation was only supposed to be temporary to kind of meet the need that you're talking about. What kind of reform is needed to get back to a point where all of this can be handled?
Oh, I think it's going to take some very drastic measures. First, we're going to have to think about who we are hiring and how we are hiring individuals to fill the needs. And as you said, those gaps can't be filled with those who are not professionally trained, professionally qualified, and that can do the work. And we need to have conversations with communities. There's always an influx of individuals who want to be a part of the law enforcement community, but they're not passing the academies. So you might have 85 people who are hired and only 30 people who actually pass the academy. So we have to really start talking in elementary school, in high school, and in colleges about this type of profession and what people need to do so they can become better informed, equipped, and qualified to take over these positions. And we're not there yet.
Let's talk about funding, because manhunts are costly. I don't have to tell you that. The Pennsylvania State Police disclosed that a 2014 search for a man who was later convicted of killing a state trooper cost nearly $12 million. The Cavalcante capture, that took 2 weeks of manpower expenses. Who fits the bill in these situations?
The public. The public fits the bill because the number of people and individual agencies, because we had over 500, I think it's somewhere around 500 people that came together ultimately in this search, but they didn't just come from Pennsylvania. K9 units and specialized units for tracking and the tools and services, they have to come from far away sometimes. So their departments are paying individually mixed, which means something might happen in Pennsylvania, but it is impacting us on a larger scale, and the public pays for this in increased prices, in the opportunity to the impact that it has when someone is gone from where they usually are. We're all paying for this, which is why we should all be paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a fair point. As you say it, if I'm not in Pennsylvania, why should I care about what's happening? It has a ripple effect across really the country of where these resources are coming from. Sunny Slaughter, founder and managing partner of Sunny Slaughter Consulting. Thank you so much for your expertise.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure.